In part 2 of this thesis statement tutorial, we're going to talk about how to narrow your focus, construct your body paragraphs, and to tweak your thesis so that it's in the most approachable and readable way possible. So let's take a look at narrowing our focus. If we use our previously constructed theme statement, which is, in the film Toy Story, John Lasseter develops the idea that when Woody the Cowboy perceives that his needs are more important than Buzz Lightyear's, he alienates his closest friend the most painfully. This is demonstrated from through to. Here we're going to talk about what from through to means. So let's imagine that we're writing a 3-paragraph essay, and we need to come up with supporting evidence. The problem is most of us don't know how to select our supporting evidence. This model will give you a bit of a structure to do so. Consider each one of these as being a paragraph in your essay. So in this 3-paragraph model, you'll see here that I would find some evidence from the beginning of the text, through the middle of the text, to the end of the text. I could also say this as initially, however, consequently. So each one of these indicates one body paragraph. If we were going to do a 4-paragraph model, I might have one paragraph on the balanced state, one on the catalyst for change, one on the conflict that our character develops, and one on the resolution of that conflict. In other words, I could write initially, however, consequently, and finally. For the sake of this tutorial, though, we'll focus just on the 3-paragraph structure. So if we take our model of Toy Story, and we look at our evidence here to support how Woody alienates and hurts Buzz, we're going to start from and initially where he comes from. At the beginning of the text, Woody understands that he's a toy. He recognizes that he's king of the toy kingdom, and he has no challengers until Andy receives Buzz Lightyear as a gift. Buzz, though, on the other hand, does not consider himself to be a toy, but instead thinks of himself as a space commander. He doesn't realize that he's mostly make-believe. This forces Woody to spend the majority of the film trying to convince Buzz that he's not real. This is or however. Because Woody spends so much time trying to convince Buzz that he's not real, he actually starts to whittle away at him. He forces his perception and his beliefs onto Buzz. So when they end up being trapped in the bully's room together, and Woody really needs Buzz's help to escape, Buzz is unwilling to help. He has now accepted that he's only a toy and will not try to fly out. He knows his wings are fake and that he can't really achieve flight. This discourages Woody, but it also forces Woody to come to terms with his actions and to realize how they've had an impact on his friend in a most painful way. This is where our final paragraph would come to. The to, or the consequently. What does Woody do differently at the end that he didn't do at the beginning? So in this case, Woody needs to change his ways and believe in Buzz, to convince him that he can fly, to celebrate his successes. And until he can do this, they're both stuck where they are. He needs Buzz to believe once again that he can fly and rescue them because he is a true Star Commander. So if we're going to narrow our focus and develop this last sentence, we might do something like this. In the film Toy Story, John Lasseter develops the idea that when Woody the Cowboy perceives that his needs are more important than Buzz Lightyear's, he alienates his closest friend the most painfully. This is demonstrated initially in Woody continuously trying to prove to Buzz that he's not real. However, when trapped in the bully's room, Woody needs Buzz's help to escape, but Buzz has now accepted that Woody's perceptions that he is only a toy and will not try to fly out. Consequently, Woody recognizes that he needs to change his ways and believe in Buzz before Woody can get his friend to rescue them both. So in effect, this becomes our thesis statement. We've provided our theme. We've provided how we're going to address it in each of our body paragraphs. And we have a pretty strong direction for writing. Now, it's just a matter of going out and seeking the right evidence to support. If you were writing on a text, say a short story or a novel or play, you would need to provide specific quotations to further prove your initially, however, and consequently. This will be covered in the later tutorial on Context Evidence Analysis, or CEA. But we're not quite finished with our thesis statement. How can we polish it and tweak it so that it sounds more acceptable, flows a little bit better, and includes the thesis, the direction, the argument, at the end of the paragraph rather than the beginning? So here you'll see that our theme statement, alienating his closest friends, is at the beginning. In this example, you'll see it's the last statement. The reason for this is because then it provides that clear direction for you to construct your argument each and every paragraph. If by the end of your paragraph you don't reference back to your thesis here, your argument falls apart. So by putting your thesis statement at the end of the paragraph, you actually streamline your argument. So going back to the original one here, we said, in the film Toy Story, John Lasseter develops the idea that when Woody the cowboy perceives that his needs are more important than Buzz Lightyear's, he alienates his closest friend the most painfully. This is demonstrated initially in Woody continuously trying to prove that Buzz is not real. However, when trapped in the bully's room, Woody needs Buzz's help to escape, but Buzz has now accepted Woody's perception that he's only a toy and will not try to fly out. Consequently, Woody recognizes that he needs to change his ways and believe in Buzz before Woody can get his friend to rescue them both. Tweaked, it would sound like this. In the film Toy Story, Woody the cowboy continuously tries to prove to Buzz Lightyear that he's not real. However, when trapped in the bully's room, Woody needs Buzz's help to escape, but Buzz has now accepted Woody's opinion that he is only a toy and refuses to try to fly out. Consequently, Woody recognizes that he needs to change his ways and believe in Buzz before Woody can get his friend to rescue them both. In this way, John Lasseter, the director, implies that when Woody perceives that his needs are more important than Buzz's, he alienates his closest friend in the most painful way. This is our argument we're going to make throughout. So hopefully through these two tutorials, you've seen how to properly construct a thesis statement in a way that's not only organized, but also flows and provides clear direction for your writing.